We are coming at you live from the Element Well studio. It's our pleasure to welcome now our good friend Steve Azar, host of In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar. He's a musician, and he's also widely considered, including by me, to be Mississippi's music and cultural ambassador. Hey, Steve, good to see you, brother.
Merry Christmas, Gerard.
Man, yeah, Merry Christmas to you. All right, you're going to get it cranked up for us this evening at 6 p.m., right? We've got a Mississippi Christmas with Steve Azar kicking off at that time. I can't wait.
Love it doing it every year, and it helps me get in the spirit a little sooner. And I've already gotten engaged a little bit with Will, and he's put a great program together as always, and love being part of Team SuperTalk and celebrating the birth of our dear Lord. So it's a wonderful celebration. The music, to me, is the most diverse and different, and obviously we're the one show that covers so many of our great Mississippi artists, just sprinkling in and out, constantly with and consistently with, of course, being the birthplace of America's music. Gerard, you and I both know that it all started with us, and so all the other music obviously has been touched by us. So it's a no-brainer.
So tell us what we can expect, Steve. I know you're going to have some of the Christmas classics, but I'm thinking you're going to sprinkle in some Christmas tunes that were recorded by Mississippi artists, many of whom are your friends, of course.
Yeah, I got to know them over my lifespan, and getting to play music for a living since I was a little kid. So, yeah, I mean, we cover the gamut from B.B. to Elvis to Dorothy Moore to, you name it, we got it. It's the list goes on and on and on and on, and it's Albert King, and oh my goodness, there's just so many. You start forgetting to name them because it never ends. Jimmy Buffett, Charlie Pride. A lot of them will be shining down their beautiful spirit on Christmas. So, it's really a great variety. But I also think it shines a spotlight on us as a state and our contribution to the world, and what is one of the most important backdrops of our day. We have music going, throughout throughout the day for all of us. Music's always, sort of in the background, or it's in the movies we watch. It's constant. So, I just always think about how grateful I am that I grew up here, and know that if I didn't, there's no way I'm doing this. So, it's awesome. Awesome.
So, Steve, tell us, as a musical artist, what's it like to kind of pivot a bit from your standard genre and standard style of music to record Christmas music?
Well, I've only made one. It's my Catfish Christmas song. For me, it's all about being honest, and I love to write everything I do. So, I've always been a little bit, I felt like it was important for it to come from me. That was a lot of fun, a party that we put on in Nashville every year, and all of a sudden I saw an invitation, and my buddy Danny Oberly, who I grew up with from age 0, he's a catfish biologist, and he was Santa in the video with Jim McMahon from the Bears, and Cat Cora, the Iron Chef, and my buddy Terry Ahola, who you've met at the Delta Soul, U.S. ski team member back in the day, and we had so much fun shooting the video. And but with all that said, I've been tempted to do a Christmas album, but it just got to be, to do the whole enchilada. But I don't know what's kept me from doing it. When I moved back home, Gerard, it was really focusing in on locking in on really writing about home, and really soaking into that environment, and being able to do it a lot better. Coming full circle after being in Music City for 20 years, everything really just started to add up in my mind and my heart, and I was able to articulate it, through words and music. So I really focused in on that and spent those number of years just doing that. So, but look, we've got plenty of great Mississippi artists that did this, and we got plenty of music that we need to share and remind everybody that every time they hear a classic, most of the time you're going to be, especially on our show, you're going to be hearing like, wow, I forgot they're from Mississippi.
Yeah, that's a great point. Steve, I think all of us probably, as we age, we sort of, around Christmas in particular, we we kind of go back in time a bit and we relive our childhood and remember the music, that made Christmas special for us. Any particular Christmas music, Steve, that you always look forward to as a child?
Well, for me, it was always, growing up, it's all about your parents and what they sort of fed to you.
Yeah.
Andy Williams and Dean Martin and Bing Crosby with White Christmas, and telling the stories about these teenage tunesmiths who wrote, come on. Like he's talking about it for the first time.
Right.
And these songs that would become standards in our lives during this time of year. So I'm a sucker for those. I always loved everything Elvis did.
Yeah.
Just his take on it was so Elvis, the way BB did it. They were such unique artists. Obviously, the king of rock and roll, the king of the blues, and they had their own way of whatever was going on inside them and how it was able to come out so different with the classics and turn it into them. And that to me is such a gift. And I just, I'm in awe every time I hear it. It's more than just the style of a voice.
Yeah.
They had the ability to transform it to what they were musically, and it just always worked.
Yeah.
And I just, it's just amazing to me. And Charlie Pride, I was always a huge fan of him. And as I got to know him and doing the Grand Ole Opry with him at times, and just knowing that he used to shop in my mom's grocery store as a kid in his baseball uniform.
Yep.
Just what a wonderful soul.
Besides being incredibly talented, he was just a good guy. I don't know if I ever told you, I had the chance to play a little golf with him in Dallas, just kind of connected up on the driving range.
Wow.
And I was hitting balls, and he was next to me, behind me, and I didn't really pay attention. I was hitting balls. I was over there at the Four Seasons Resort, where they used to play, he used to play the Byron Nelson at.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm hitting balls, and my buddy from Oklahoma, we were at a business event. We were going to play, and he had a good shot. He says, "Oh, Gerard, I'm taking you down today." And all of a sudden, this voice from behind me breaks into, "Take me down." I said, "Man, that sounded good." And I turned around. It was Charlie Pride. And
did y'all play?
Yeah, we did a few holes, and then he had to split up. But I was just in awe. Of course, I explained to him my Mississippi roots and so forth. And
he loved it.
Just a great guy. It was an honor and a thrill for me, honestly. But when I heard that voice on the driving range, I said, I don't know any golfers that can sing quite like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Gerard, I love it. He was the only one, I think, that wore wilder pants than me. Like in my Pearl River Resort commercial, everybody goes,
I love
what are those pants you're wearing? And I said, I wear those to the airport. Those are my travel pants and my golf pants.
Oh, man. But just another one of the fine musicians, of course, from the state of Mississippi. But who could imagine Christmas, Steve, without music? That's what makes it so special. Yeah,
man. I'm just thinking about Conway Twitty, and I'm just starting to think about Tammy Wynette and Tina Turner. Ike Turner, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got me thinking about all these great artists. And more music's going to come. But I couldn't imagine us having the backdrop of Christmas without that going on. It's pretty special, and we need to think about this time and really absorb it with family, with our faith, and with our friends, and really, because you're heading into a new year, and that's when we got to make all these dang resolutions that we got to try to stick to. But it's a wonderful thing to be a part of, and I'm blessed to be part of Team SuperTalk and do this for a bunch of years now. I really look forward to doing it.
Man, and your show is doing great. I often am in the studio for about an hour or so after the show when your show is being broadcast, and I always enjoy it. The interviews with some of those artists and hearing some of their background and history, it's just fascinating. It really is. You do a great job of that.
I really appreciate it. Well, I'm trying to get better, but along the way, but I know that I probably have limitations. But I do keep it honest, and I do enjoy getting to know people better, or getting to know people from the start. And I credit that, Gerard. You do the same thing. You and I both come from backgrounds that aren't in radio,
right?
And so we're being on this side of things, and you do an incredible job as well. I love listening to you. So ditto. But don't you love just the joy of getting to talk to people you may have never gotten a chance to talk to, and it's just it's just so wonderful.
It's a privilege. Steve, we appreciate you coming on and talking to us about A Mississippi Christmas with Steve Azar. That's coming up starting tonight and through tomorrow, 6 p.m. Steve will be handling all the tunes for you. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for coming on,
Love
man.
you, brother. Take care.
Yep. We're coming right back in the Element Well studio.